Yo, top Billin. Man, it's super late. Thought I would do a little something. Nothing too in depth. Just some of the things that stood out to me in this particular LSU versus Florida game. Man, it was such a great game. I come away absolutely impressed with both teams. If you're not impressed with Florida, especially the LSU people that I know are about to come in here and be extremely insufferable. If you weren't impressed with what Florida did, I don't know what to tell you, man. And I find myself walking away from this thinking that LSU is definitely a contender, like I said before the season even started. So this is nothing new to me. But I think that we could possibly see this bad boy in the SEC championship game again, right? Long way to go before that. Both teams have extremely tough tests. But man, I want to see them running back because these teams went up and down the field on each other, and I want to see who will make the adjustments, especially on the neutral field. All right, but check this one out right here, man. LSU is tough to stop when it gets this run game going. We already know about the vertical concepts and how it's able to go downfield and a lot of the RPO type stuff. But man, you get right here a shotgun version of an ISO play, right? Of your old school ISO play, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire with his patience and burst, able to make that bad boy look good. So you see the H-back right here, Thad Moss, ISOing up. Get up on Ventrell Miller right here. Boom, ISO block. Everybody doing work from the LSU offensive line right here. Nice spacing. Now, I was telling the Florida people before the game, man, my man Sean Davis had a couple of games. Everybody's talking about the interceptions and stuff, but you have to be able to break down and make tackles in space, and that's not his strong suit in my opinion. But he gets hit with the muscle. Ooh, muscle relaxer alert. Clyde Edwards has a nasty muscle. Ooh, he hit him with the baby crossover like the Allen Iverson. Oh, man, I hate to break it to you. At least he was in Baton Rouge, right? But my man Sean Davis slept good that night. All right, this time your normal pass tag on the back of a run call. You're leveraging, once again, Ventrell Miller right here. Well, he does a good job of kind of staying home, right, forcing the hand. So he stays right here instead of pressing up. If he would have pressed up, there would have been a backside slant come right behind him like they did all game. It's extremely tough to stop, especially, like I said in the preview, if you can't decrease the space. So Florida had no chance of decreasing the space. And we see why LSU is so great, because how many people can trot out multiple NFL draft picks at cornerback and still have trouble pressing up on the receivers to force everything deep and not give up the short stuff. So here we go. See the the read portion of it. Everybody blocking, so you know it's everybody run blocking, so you know it's a run call. Originally, people getting out on the second level. However, let's go back to it. Pardon me, is late right here. Ventrell Miller kind of stays home. Look at him, sliding. So if he's staying home, you got to let him go ahead and take the ball. And his patience, man. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I love people like Clyde Edwards-Helaire because everybody always wants the new young thing. But it's that grizzled veteran that shows you the way and how to play football. So hopefully the world was able to see how talented this kid is. But his vision, his burst, and his patience out the gate, 88 and out the gate, all right? But of course, this is not a highlight channel, it's a film study. No full plays will be shown, blah, 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 blah. All right. I like to switch up to my man Emory Jones, a.k.a. Fab 5. But I didn't necessarily like to switch up when he came in and just started a drive. I like placing him in certain parts of the drive and letting him go to work from there. So I thought that was a blunder by Dan Mullen. He had a few blunders towards the end with his play calling that I thought was a little suspect. But hey, it's all good. It was super competitive, and I'd love to see them running back. But this time you're going to have what amounts to pretty much a power O. You got P. Ryan, block Inman on the line of scrimmage. You're going to have Hagee coming around here on a pull. He's going to pull up, seal off that backside linebacker right here, Patrick Queen. And then you'll have what amounts to almost counter action with the pause with Emory Jones. So you can almost call it a counter O with him going right here. So they had a play build on top of this. So I thought this was pretty cool. See Hagee coming around right there. Inman on the line of scrimmage. P. Ryan, my man P. Diddy dancing in the background, dancing in the backfield with the block on Jacoby Stevens. Hagee coming around with the block on the backside linebacker. Good vision by Fab 5. Getting upfield, making his presence known. Good stuff. All right, so Fab Five should have had himself a couple of touchdown passes right here. This is pretty much the same concept. You have Hagee coming, right, on a pull. This time you have Kyle Pitts acting kind of like LaMichael Pirine was in the previous play and bluffing like he's going to block this particular linebacker. Shoots the seam, and the rest is history. Didn't quite get it this way. He actually had a self-play action fake just like he was going to do. Just like the last play, coming around with almost a counter action. Peels back. Right? He gets back into his throwing set, delivery process. Really get to see Emory Jones's delivery process right here. Straight up and down on his toes. I don't know what he looks like right here. Almost like, kind of reminds me of like Robert Griffin III or something like that. But see it right here? Over the top delivery. Delivered that bad boy. Very good. Put it right on him. That's exactly what you wanted. But guess what? Guy who I dubbed the best player in college football, Grant Delpit. Johnny on the spot. G7. Boom. Damn. My boy Kyle Pitts, who's looking pretty much like the best tight end in the country, gets lifted. How high? Method Man in them. Boom. Ball comes out. Great play on both ends. It was definitely a chess match and stuff like that, man. Some great players. Emory Jones, Fab Five, Grant Delpit, G7. Kyle Pitts and all these boys, great talent on the field. Speaking of that particular matchup with Delpit and Kyle Pitts, I believe you may have Pitts right here. Looks like he'll be running a wheel route just where he ends up at. I'm not sure. I didn't do the pre-log on this one, particular play right here. But, man, they didn't have an answer for Kyle Pitts at all. He was abusing Delpit, Stingley, Jacoby Stevens, everyone in the first half. So I had to go back and see what the second half was like while they ended up bottling him up. But, yeah, he did run a wheel route right here. See Delpit right now in phase with the chicken fighting. Kyle Trask had to go back here. The much maligned offensive line actually didn't do that bad. If you really think about it, I can only think of like one sack from K'Lavon Chaisson. I have to really go back and look at it. But these guys kind of held up in pass protection. But for the most part, Kyle Trask's pocket presence was a lot better. Able to slide in the pocket and escape and detach as well. But see him delivering right here. Grant Delpit pretty much had no chance. That's not his thing. I told y'all in the pre-snap read or whatever we had, that man-to-man coverage is not his thing. He likes to roam. He's the best at roaming, and he's the best at box work, right? All right, look at my man Juggler Joe right here. You can make an argument that Juggler Joe is every bit as good as Tua Tagovailoa thus far this year. You can make an argument that he's the best quarterback in college football. So really like what I'm seeing from him. But y'all already knew that if you've been a freaking visitor of this channel right here. So look at him. Come with the pump right here. Be able to redistribute himself, right? Detach from the pocket. The scramble rules got people down goes this LSU player. You got the scramble rules up right here. Justin Jefferson understands what's going on. Detaching from the pocket, keeping his head up. Always looking for the jugular vein, man. It's Jugular Joe. Throwing on the run. Look at the product placement. Trey Dean can't even get there. Jugular Joe is a mother, I'll tell you that. Like I said before, so much talent on the field. I went into the game after that. Justin Jefferson is perhaps the best wide receiver in all of college football. Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Jerry Jeudy, Laviska Shenault at Colorado. A lot of talented guys right here. But check this out. Levels concept going on from LSU. Got people riding a skinny post right here. The prototypical Levels concept. Jugular Joe with the front action, play action, fake. Surveying the land right here. Got some good battling going on right here. Man, that's one of the reasons why I want to see this run back for real. Who would have thought that both John Grenard and Jabari Zuniga would end up not really playing much in this game? I would like to see them fully healthy and going against that offensive line and really challenging Joe Burrow. But look at him, man. Yeah, could have possibly gone here right here, but you got the single high post safety, right? It's almost like they're running, let me see. Almost like they're running man free. But look, he makes the best decision right here on this deep dig to Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. This was no Terrace Marshall. I want to see both of these teams healthy and going at it. No Kadarius Toney from Florida. Good stuff, man. Speaking of Jabari Zuniga, we see him going against Austin Deckles right here. Look at him knifing the gap, squeezing down. going after John Emery. He was definitely unhealthy, you could tell, but man, he was making a little bit of an impact, a little bit of time that he did get on the field. So get healthy, man. All right, bread and butter play here. Now, look, be honest with yourself. You can't tell me that LSU doesn't play exactly like Alabama. I'm talking about the sets and formations and everything, and exactly like Alabama. That game against Alabama is going to be crazy. Two teams doing the same exact stuff, so you know they should know how to defend it. But chances are they're not going to be able to defend it because they both don't have the defensive prowess to defend such high-powered attacks. So it's going to be like one of those all-out boxing wars where people have no defense and they just take punches and block punches with their face. But this is what they're leveraging off of Brad Stewart right here. If he goes up, of course, they're going to come behind him with the slant if he approaches the line of scrimmage. But if you look right here off camera, we can't see it. My man, I don't know, C.J. Henderson, like he was scared to death, scared to look. Obviously, he doesn't align himself on defense, but you would think that they would want to get hands on hands, right? Hands on man, press up. Nah, man, they don't decrease the space, and they allow a guy like Jamar Chase, right, with his quickness in his hands, and Jugular Joe with his accuracy, been able to anticipate throws, just leading them there. There's really no defense for that. And C.J. Henderson was right there, and he still put it on the money. Got to get hands on these receivers. Just absolutely have to. I wanted to show some love to K'Lavon Chaisson, who I said in the build-up I wanted to see something from in this particular game, because at this particular junction in his career, he's been more hype than substance. And a lot of it is not his fault, though, due to injury and everything. So he showed himself to be a pretty talented player. We already knew he had a lot of talent. But I love this particular play right here, working against the run. Slice down, redirect, take on the block, keep contained. On the outside, he kept contained by pushing Heggie here and making him the contained player. Then, of course, Pete Diddy dancing in the backfield, dancing in the background. K'Lavon all over him. Speaking of Pete Diddy right here, I love this particular play. What we got right here? It's running power. Approaching defender in the gap, Patrick Queen. Still got to dance a little bit. You see how, hey, man, he going to do what he going to do, man. He going to hit that typewriter, that MC Hammer. P. Diddy danced in the backfield. Absorbs the contact. Keeps his legs churning. Ends up coming back out the pile, man. He's a real gritty player. I got to give him a lot of love for that, man. Real gritty player, really good hands. Just dealt a bad card with his offensive line this particular season, so. All right, man, I'm going to have to stop it right there, man. I got to get to bed. And I wanted to watch some more of this game. So I'm going to have some much more on this during the week. Get some real breakdowns. I wanted to see what was going on with your man Derek Stingley, right? He had a really good interception to kind of seal the game in the end zone. But let's be real about it. He was also abused by multiple players on Florida's team. So I want to see what was going on with my man. Baptism by fire. He's definitely going to be one of the best to do it. We already know that. Super talented kid. He didn't care. He was competing. I love to see that competitiveness. But, man, much love to both of these teams. Much love to LSU doing what they had to do. It was a battle of not necessarily a battle of attrition, but it's one of those high-stakes poker games where you felt like the first person to make a mistake, they were done. Or the first team to make a mistake, they were done. And at the end, that happened to be the Floirda Gators. But, man, let's be real. They were marching up and down on the field on the Tigers. Put up over 450 yards of offense on the road in Baton Rouge at night, like everybody said. So, man, I want to see a rematch of this bad boy. In the future, man, I'd like to see LSU play Ohio State. I want to see Joe Burrow play his old team. That would be pretty cool, too. But both these teams, obviously, if you're Florida, you have nothing to hang your hat on, man, or hang your head about. Because you played very well, in my opinion. A little something here, something there. You very well could have won this game. But I'll have more. Join me in the live stream Tuesdays and Thursdays, Eastern Standard Times, anywhere between 6 and 9. And then we usually roll for a couple of hours, maybe even more. All right. With that being said, it's your boy. Oh, yeah. I'll be real about it. All right. I picked the Gators 28-24. And obviously I was wrong. So it is what it is. But a lot of people out there were saying it was going to be something like 54-7 and stuff like that. So Gators aren't built like that. You're not going to completely kill them like that. So they get a little bit healthier. we can see this game again. It very well might have a different outcome. So I find myself extremely high on the Gators, especially in the SEC East. So we'll see how that goes, all right? But it's your boy Murf, the Underground King, and I am out. Peace.
What more can I say?
Top Billin.